So I've got all the tank empty now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a nice square piece out of here. So when I get the black perspex, I can glue it onto here, and then in the black perspex I will drill an hole to where I want it. Cutting this first, because obviously I can't drill into there because the tank's too small to get a drill in. So you could use a Dremel if you have one, but I'm just going to take the easy and quick option, is to use a soldering iron. There we go. So what I'm going to do is just melt a nice slit in it. Okay, so now I've cut the little bit out of it. As you can see, it is below the waterline. There's where the waterline's meant to be, and it's I'd say about a centimetre below the waterline, which is what you want. If you're using a soldering iron like I did, when you come to do this side, like so, if you just blow over the soldering iron as you're going down, just so you don't melt this bit of plastic here, it should be good to go. Don't worry about it looking like this, because you can cut these off with a razor. This melted bit of plastic in here, and I'll also be sanding this part anyway, so when I glue the black perspex over this, it'll give it a good bond. So I'll just chop that off now and give it a light sand. Okay, so I've extended the original tube. This is the original tube you get. All I've done is just cut the tube in half, and then I've put some epoxy glue on the tube, this bit of tubing, pushed it into this tube here, and then obviously done the same with the other half into this bit here, and then onto the pump. That extends it, as you can see, like so. You will have to, and then what you want to do is just put it in like so. Get it in there, push it all the way down to the bottom, like that. And as you can see now, if you can see, but you can see this tube here, the outlet bit, the waterline is in the middle of it, so it's half, like so. I don't know if you can quite see that, my camera's not that good. Let's try changing the light away a bit, and that's what you want it there. So half of this tube is in the water and the other half is out the water. So when you come to put your perspex sheet on this and glue it on, you'll then drill a nice hole for this to pop through the hole, like that basically, and then this will plug straight into it, and then you can choose to direct it right under, because this has got a thing on it like so. So then if you don't want it to be noisy, you can point it right down so it's nice and quiet, and then if you want it just to blow on the top of the surface to get some oxygen in the water, which is the whole point of doing this mod, you can do. It's as simple as that, really. You don't really need many tools. So as you can see, we have raised the outlet pipe up, I'd say about an inch, a good inch above, and this will definitely oxygenate the water a lot more for you. Also here, you can see the inlet. This tank I'm using for my fry, which are really small and can get through them, which they'll end up where the heater is, because that's where the heater goes. So when I get the black perspex, I'm going to cut some slits in like they have done here, but I'm going to cut them a lot smaller so the fry can't get through, because I've noticed if you put sponge in there, yeah, it will stop your fry from getting in, but that sponge clogs up, and if it clogs up, it stops water from getting in here. And if it stops water from getting in here, this pump in here will drain all the water out of there, so which means that your heater will be bone dry, which is not good. Unless you can get one of them heaters where they turn off when there's no water. But I need to cover that anyway because I don't want fry swimming around there where my filter is, well, where my heater is. So I'll go get the perspex now and cut it to size and drill the hole. So I'm just going to show you how I'm going to get rid of these edges off here. Simply get a knife and cut it away, and if you've used a soldering iron like I have, you know, you get some melted plastic that pops up, and you just like that, cut it away, and you'll see it all comes out. It's a bit tricky doing this with one hand, but you get the idea. Once I've cut all that off flat, I'll give it a light sand. I'll give all this a sand here as well, this part. And then to bond your black perspex onto this, I'm simply just going to use a 2-part epoxy, which is these. It is safe to use. I've used this in tanks before to do similar sort of jobs. It's just your cheap epoxy glue. Works well, and it's heat resistant as well. Just one thing to note, if you are going to use a knife to do this, be careful you don't cut yourself like I just have. And if you do cut yourself, it's nothing that a bit of sellotape can't fix. So I've now cut that nice and smooth, and just got to sand this part here now, so the glue has a good surface to bond. One thing I'm going to add as well, for the heater, just to keep the heater straight, I've basically used it. It's an old pop bottle, cut 2 little grooves in it, and that's going to be glued into the bottom here where the heater is, and the heater basically just sits in there like so. It just keeps it straight, so the heater's not touching the sides of the perspex. So I'm going to glue that into the bottom, and then the top bit of perspex, when I put a bit on there, there'll be an hole for the for that blue controller there, poking at the top, so it just keeps it nice and straight. Okay, so the glue's now dried. What I've done is I've also made the hole bigger for the filter there, so and put a guard over it that's thinner than the holes originally, so now my fry can't get through to the filter area. And as you can see, it looks okay. I've glued that in now, so now that is above the water line there. Well, yeah, just. So now I can point it down to make it quiet, or up to get some water movement. Also, the rippling on the surface now will also make the light a lot better. You'll get that shimmering look from the LEDs. I don't know if you can see inside there. I've added some ceramics. I need a lot more. There's 100 grams in there. I think I'm going to need 200 to 300 grams to fill that up. But once I glued this on, I just pushed that on there, and that's fine now. Just so you what I did for the as you can see here, the heater now sits nice and straight, and equals gaps around it. I just glued a plastic pop bottle at the bottom there, so the end of this now sits in that, like so, like that. And I'm going to make another bit there just to keep this top so it keeps it straight. And that's about it. I actually do prefer the black. I wish they did send me the black one, but there you go. I reckon I'm going to put some of that black plastic stuff over this, so just turn that into black. There's not much I can do about this being white. This will eventually go black anyway from the algae. And that is it. So I'll fill it up with water now and try it out. Okay, so I've just switched over to my camera on my phone. Hopefully it'll be better quality. I mean, I can see already it is, so I might just use my phone from now on. But as you can see, the tank's full now. Nice and clear. A few wet bubbles because I've just added a bit of clean water to some tank water. I'll leave this now for a while and let temperatures come up. So as you can see, now the water's blowing on top, which is oxygenating the water, whereas before it was down here somewhere, and even if you pointed it up it still wouldn't make the top of the surface ripple. So now that's done, and I can push it all the way down now if I wanted, underneath the water or above, which is what I want here. So there we go. I think I might try and change the pump for a faster one, because the flow rate on this isn't exactly great, as you can probably see. I mean, that's probably fine for this, but I might see if I can get a better pump, but for now that's working. As you can see in there. One thing to add as well is I glued the thermometer for this down there, as you can see, and I've just sellotaped that to the back for now. Temperature's a little bit warm because I've just filled it up with my tank water and added a bit of warm water, fresh warm water, so wait for that to go down before I put fish in. But this will eventually be here, and there'll be some perspex here, see-through perspex. I'm going to cut a square out and put this into the hole, and obviously waterproof underneath this. But yeah, all in all, it doesn't seem bad. Obviously algae will grow on that, on the back of there. You can sort of see the glue outline because it's clear glue. Like I say, the algae will soon cover that over. But yeah, it looks okay. It's definitely done the job what I wanted it to do. And the lighting actually looks a lot better now. You probably can't see it on my camera, but you can just see the rippling effect, the shimmering effect. But in my eyes, you can see it a lot better than the webcam's picking up. Just turn my light off, and you'll be able to get a better look, maybe. No. I've got the top cover here. Just put this on. Could do with a clean. But put that on. Oh. There we go. So yeah, that seems okay. I am going to build a better LED light for this, and I'll do a video on how to build it and what parts you'll need, but it will be a lot better than this, a lot brighter. So there we go. I'll just turn my main light on again. You can see, and it's nice and level in between now. The heater. So yeah, it's turned out okay. So subscribe to my channel if you want to see some more mods on this fish tank. And so there we go.